Buddy had not always been a stray. There was a time when his world was full of laughter, warmth, and a boy who loved him more than anything. He had a home once, a real home, with soft blankets to curl into, and a yard where he chased butterflies on sunny afternoons. Buddy had been the smallest in his litter, a golden retriever with big round eyes that seemed to take in the world with endless wonder. When the family had come to the shelter, it was the little boy, Noah, who had crouched down and met his gaze. "He's the one," Noah had whispered, his tiny fingers reaching through the crate to stroke Buddy's fur. "He's special." From that moment on, they were inseparable. Buddy woke up each morning to the sound of Noah's giggles, tiny arms wrapping around his neck in an embrace that felt like forever. They ran through the fields together, played fetch until Noah's arms grew tired, and curled up on the couch for long afternoon naps. When Noah was sad, Buddy was there, licking away his tears. When he was scared, Buddy pressed close, a silent protector against the dark. Life was perfect, but happiness, Buddy would soon learn, never lasts forever. One evening, suitcases lined the hallway. Noah's parents were whispering, their voices thick with worry. Buddy didn't understand until the next morning when Noah clung to him, sobbing. "We have to move." The boy choked out, burying his face in Buddy's fur. "They won't let us take you." Buddy's heart pounded as the front door opened. Noah's father gently pulled him away. "I love you," Noah whimpered as Buddy was led outside, placed into the backseat of a stranger's car. The last thing Buddy saw before the car pulled away was Noah standing in the doorway, arms wrapped around himself, tears streaming down his face. That was the first time Buddy ever felt alone. The shelter was kind, but it wasn't home. The days turned into weeks, each one blending into the next. People came and went, pointing at other dogs, taking them away to new homes. But not Buddy, and then one day a man arrived. He wasn't warm like Noah. His eyes weren't soft with love, but rather filled with something harder, more impatient. "I'll take him," the man said, signing the papers without even looking at Buddy. At first, Buddy wanted to believe things would be okay, but this new place, it wasn't home. The man fed him, gave him water, but there were no belly rubs, no playful games of fetch, no laughter. The house was cold, the backyard was small and lonely. Days passed, then weeks. And then one evening, the gate was left open. Buddy hesitated at first. Was this a trick? Was the man watching? But no call came, no angry voice demanding he come back. So he ran. He ran until his paws ached, until the lights of the house faded behind him. He ran until the pavement turned unfamiliar, until the smells of home were gone, replaced by the sharp, metallic scent of the city. And just like that, Buddy became a stray. Life on the streets was cruel. The first few nights, Buddy tried to find his way back. He wandered, sniffing the air, searching for something that reminded him of home. But nothing did. Days passed, then weeks. His once golden fur grew matted and dull. Hunger gnawed at his ribs. Sometimes he found scraps behind restaurants. Other times he went to sleep with nothing but an empty stomach and a cold pavement beneath him. People were not kind. Shopkeepers chased him away with broomsticks. Strangers wrinkled their noses at the sight of him. Cars honked when he got too close, and children who once might have run up to pet him now shrank away, their parents pulling them aside. The first time animal control caught him, he panicked. The metal cage was suffocating, the van filled with the scent of frightened dogs. He whimpered, pressing himself into the corner, his heart pounding. He couldn't go back to another shelter. He couldn't be left behind again. So when the van doors opened and the officer reached for him, Buddy bolted. He ran until his paws bled, until he was nothing but a shadow disappearing into the night. Twice more they tried to take him. Twice more he escaped, but each time he felt a little more lost, a little less like the dog he used to be. Then, one day, everything changed. Buddy had curled up beside a dumpster, exhausted and cold, when he smelled something familiar, something sweet. A piece of bread landed near him. Buddy flinched, expecting a trick, but when he lifted his head, he saw her, the woman from the bakery. She had dark eyes filled with something he hadn't seen in a long time. Kindness. "You must be starving," she murmured, tossing another piece of bread toward him. Buddy hesitated, waiting for the cruelty that always followed kindness, but none came. The next day she did it again, and the next. Soon, Buddy started waiting for her. He never got too close, always keeping a safe distance, but when she appeared, his tail wagged, just a little. For the first time in years, Buddy felt hope. Then, one day, everything changed again. The rain came fast, turning the streets into rivers of water. Buddy had been curled up under an awning when he heard the sound, a struggle, a muffled cry. His head snapped up. It was her, the kind woman. A man had grabbed her purse, shoving her hard against the alley wall before running off. Buddy didn't think. He just ran. His paws pounded against the pavement, his body cutting through the storm like a golden blur. The mugger turned, but he was too slow. Buddy lunged, his teeth sinking into the man's arm. The purse hit the ground as the thief yelped, trying to shake him off. A hard kick sent Buddy sprawling, but it didn't matter. The man ran. And the woman, she was safe. She ran to Buddy, kneeling beside him, her hands trembling as she touched his wet fur. "Oh, you brave, brave boy," she whispered. For the first time in years, someone held him. Someone cared. The police arrived. They tried to take him, to call animal control again, but the woman stopped them. "He's mine," she said firmly. "He's coming home." And just like that, Buddy had a home again. And for the first time in so long, he let out a deep, content sigh. He was safe, he was wanted, and he was loved.